Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I have some games of Rogue 3v3 for you guys playing Roastmaster X. We are playing some Mage Rogue Priest from the Rogue point of view. A lot of people have been asking for this as well because I post some RMP from the Mage PoV, I post it from the Priest PoV, and people are like, we want to see it from the Rogue PoV. So here's that third and final point of view that we don't get to look at too often, and I'm going to be explaining to you guys kind of what I'm thinking throughout these games. Just quickly, this isn't a rogue guide, but here is my spec, right? So find weakness, subterfuge, mark for death, cheat death. You can really go elusiveness a lot of the times, but I didn't trust myself. This is my first time playing rogue in threes in maybe a year, a very long time. Maybe not that long, but maybe higher rated MMR. And, I was just like, you know what? Let's go cheat death to play it safe. So maybe that's not the greatest pick, but I think elusiveness is. Prey on the Weak for that extra damage, Dark Shadow, and Master of Shadows. Now I am playing Coldblood, Phantom Assassin, and Smoke Bomb for some extra damage and burst potential. As far as my traits, I don't have any. All right, my necklace is level 16. I don't really have any traits in my gear. My item level's pretty bad. All right, so no traits, low item level. Jumping into some 3v3, alright? We're on Tiger's Peak Arena. We're playing against Mistweaver, Enhanced Moonkin. And in general, guys, we're trying to get Cross EC and Burst, but I want to show you guys this from the Rogue point of view, which should be a little different and interesting than the other point of view. I actually saw the Moonkin there for a second, so I tried to find him, couldn't find him. So we ended up sapping the Shaman and opening up onto the Monk with a cheap shot. Right away, we want to watch the Moonkin cast bar because it's probably going to be a Cyclone, so I could either kick the Cyclone or we could kill the ground and get the Cyclone. The opener here on the Monk is supposed to force some type of trinket usage out from the enemy team. Hopefully we can get the trinket from the Druid, trinket from the Shaman, or a trinket from the Monk. That is the goal here. That grounding's down, that's the Dark Archangel. The Fear comes out onto the Druid, we lock that Cyclone attempt. Although one of the Cyclones did land onto me, and we get the Druid's Trinket. Not the craziest opener, but we do swap the Sheep up onto the Mistweaver. Now we get a free Sheep there, which means a free Sheep means we didn't kidney into a poly or fear into a poly. We just got the poly out of thin air, out of no follow-up CC, or no CC prior. So we get that free polymorph there. Cyclone's being casted. I'm pretty much fully diminished at this point. I might have a quarter Cyclone DR still onto me. Shaman's off stun DR. I want to stun up the Shaman here in a second. I do get a stun onto the Shaman. He trinket walls, and then I immediately do an off stun onto the Druid because he is casting that Cyclone. If I didn't stun the Druid, I could have kicked the Druid, but we want to stop the Druid from casting either Cyclones or off heals onto me or the Shaman or my partners, or else this go is just not clean. So we have, look at this, triple CC, Mistweaver's in the polymorph, off cheap shot to control the Moonkin, and we're doing our dance rotation here onto the Shaman, and we force that trinket wall. With that second Shadow Dance, I still have Blades, I still have Smoke Bomb, so next go, this is actually really nice, and I blind the Monk here to continue the go, and the Monk trinket. So just one quick criticism of the other team: if the Shaman trinket walls, that usually means the Monk has to sit the blind if it's on that same go, if the poly DR is still on, right? We can't sap out of the blind. He's already polymorphed DR'd, and the Shaman just trinket walled. So by him trinketing, all of a sudden the enemy team has no trinkets at all. Okay, Monk no trinket, Moonkin no trinket, Shaman no trinket. All we have to do to win this game is either pre-blades and bomb the Shaman, the Monk, or the Moonkin, get some cross EC with polymorph, kidney shot, sheep shot, and then the game's pretty much over, right? So we'll want to keep that in mind, and then that's pretty much all we have to do. Go over to the Moonkin, hit the Moonkin just for a second or two. Stun DRs are up off the Shaman right now. Come off the Moonkin in a second, and they are off the Monk. So we're going to kidney shot the Monk. We're going to cheap shot the Moonkin, and we're going to step cheap here on to the Shaman and bomb it as well. So this is a situation where we have the triple CC, right? We kidney the Monk into the polymorph, and we cheap shot the Moonkin into that Panda racial. And then we have the cheap shot bomb here onto the Shaman. So the Shaman actually can't really get out of this. One criticism of my own gameplay here on my Rogue is that we did not Blades during this go. I should have preemptively Blades because you can't Blades during a go. It's on global cooldown. So if you don't do it beforehand, it's not worth doing it at all, but I should have preemptively Shadow Blades here on this go. We do have Symbols and a Dance and the Ray of Frost and a lot of damage coming in, and the Shaman does go down in that bomb. It's just bombing just in case the Druid wanted to throw some off heals, or if the Monk somehow got out of the poly or no follow-up CC, bomb to be nice and safe. Here's the damage breakdown. Mage actually up top, and the enemy team didn't do too much, and that's because they were playing on the defensive. This breakdown is actually a little unusual. We would normally see like Boomkin or Shaman up higher if this game went on longer and longer and longer. Alright guys, now in Hook Point Arena, playing the same composition here, playing the same spec as well, and we're fighting a Holy Paladin, a Fire Mage, and an Assassination Rogue. I think it is probably fair at this point in the video to point out that Sub-Rogue is not the greatest rogue choice currently. Alright, Assassination is performing much better high-end on ladder right now, so if you do want to maximize your chances of owning it up on a rogue, I would probably recommend playing Assass. Now, the reason I'm playing Sub is because I like Sub, and I play the specs that I enjoy. I don't necessarily play what's the absolute best at all the times. I just play the specs that I have fun playing, which happen to be Sub Rogue, Frost Mage, Arcane Mage, Disc Priest, Shadow Priest. Anyway, open on the Paladin here. All three of us, we throw the orb down, we open it with that Mark for Death Kidney. I could throw it the Dance, Cold Blood Symbols here if we want to try to force more cooldowns. Looks like we do. Force that Dark Archangel, restun the Palion's Trinket. One more stun. Pally's getting very low here. My mage is completely peeled with those polymorphs. Pally's getting dangerously low, 14% life there for a second. Fear coming out, 12%, 9%, a little more damage comes in, and we do force the bubble. So that bubble and the Trinket from the Paladin. Okay, the Rogue has no Trinket, which opens him up for a Smoke Bomb swap if we'd want to do that. The Mage still has Caught, Trinket, and Block. So the Mage at this point in time is the worst target. A Pally swap or a Rogue swap definitely are both viable. If we do swap to the Rogue, it'd be nice if I got that pre-blades onto it. I do Vanish with that Vendetta. You can actually see through Vanish, which caught me off guard a little there. Do a slight go here onto the Rogue, but no CC onto the Paladin. So we're quickly going to get off of him. He's off DR in 16 seconds, and after that 16 seconds, we might be able to do another swap to him. I step kick the Mage in his Polymorph attempt there onto my Priest, and just continuing damage onto the Mage. Polymorph now comes out onto my Mage. A little more damage coming along. I still have Trinket, so I'm not super scared. Hammer of Justice out onto my Priest into that Ring of Frost, and I'm in that full kidney shot, and so it looks like it could be my Trinket, but I do hold my Trinket because the Priest gets out of that CC and grips me. And here's what I was just talking about. We get a free sheep onto the Paladin here. We get the Kidney and the Smoke Bomb onto the Rogue. And look how separated the Paladin and the Rogue are at this point in time. Paladin has no Trinket or no Bubble. Can't get out of the Polymorph. Kidney Bomb onto the Rogue. Mage can't really peel it too much. And the Rogue obviously can't do anything because he has no Trinket. I do pop pre-Blades here on this go. We have Blades for 8 more seconds, which should pretty much be the rest of this go. And then we have Dance and Symbols still available. So pretty much every single offensive ability besides Cold Blood just being popped into Doug at this moment. My Priest ran into the ring, I think, on purpose to death it. Yep, ran into the ring on purpose to death it. Mage is out of that CC now. Polymorph's being casted, and tons of damage connects, and Doug goes down with the Mage damage, with the Priest damage, with the rest of my damage. And yeah, we finished out that game clean, so we just had a nice strong opener, forced defensives, ran, reset, and then ended up pushing back in, getting another nice swap onto the Rogue. So another quick game. A lot of our games that we were playing last night were rather quick, but generally we're just going for these cross CC, because with Sub we have so many stuns, right? We have the cheap shots, we have the kidney shots, we have the blind, we have the fear, we have the poly, we have the kicks. In between the goes, we're playing defensive, right? We're building up combo points, we're using our kick, we're using, Mage is building damage, Priest is maybe lining up, getting in position for that next fear, kind of keeping us topped. Something gets a little bit low, get that cross CC, get the burst, force more defensives, or if they have no defensives, we just finish them off with that kill. Guys, if you enjoyed this video from the Rogue point of view is not something I post very often. Be sure to let me know. Jamili and the Priest was Gareki, both incredible players, asked me to play yesterday on my Rogue, and I'm like, yes, we're doing some games on the Rogue. So if you guys want to see more of that, I have a couple more games, or I might just play more in the future. Be sure to give the video a big thumbs up and let me know down below in the comments. Now, if you guys don't want to see any more Rogue, thumbs video down. I do plan to make a Rogue guide, whether or not just in general in the future. I had a lot of positive feedback on the Rogue guide in Legion, so I want to do another one in BFA, but I still want to figure stuff out, play my rogue a little bit more, mess around with compositions, and I'll eventually be releasing that along with the Dis, Shadow, Frost, and Arcane guides, hopefully for the other specs as well. I'm rambling, guys, but give the video some love if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next upload. Peace.